how I went from the barber shop to becoming an HR professional. Stay with me while I share this interesting journey of how I went from holding the clippers to managing people. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the secret life of a recruiter. As you know, this is a space where you get to explore with me from the lens of a recruiter, from your professional development tips, career tips, lifestyle vlogs, healthy living, fun video. I'm going to be sharing a unique experience, a story of how I went from holding the clippers to managing people. So let's get right into the story. I ventured into barbing. Well, let's say the interest came while I was in in school a bit. I didn't it was not so clear while I was in school what I wanted to do. I didn't even know what I had in mind. There was nothing, there was no proper career steps to say, oh, this is what I wanted to become after school. Because, yeah, my background is in political science and the faculty is social sciences faculty. So pretty much in my head, I thought it was going to be the finish school, join the House of Assembly, become a senator, all of those things, become a political analyst and all sorts. But things changed in between. And so after school, service year came, and that was when I saw it clearly that staying home might be funny because I had some months while waiting for service. So I just thought to myself, what's that other thing I really like? I'm always almost in the business of men, things that are more particular to men. I thought about it. Would it be nice to venture into, repairing automobiles and all that, the typical mechanic, you know? And then I found something interesting while I was scrolling through Instagram. I saw that there were different pages on barbing and all that. I even joined a community on Instagram, barbering community, where you can also like win clippers and all of that. So I just started thinking through and said, well, it won't be bad to go while waiting for NYC to go and learn barbing because I already had experience making the hairdressing part just before I even finished secondary school then. So I said, well, it won't be a bad course to try and explore what the barber shop would look like. Then I researched and found a place where I could learn, just around then. It was around some place in Ibadan then, and I will never forget these people because they were the instruments that led me into my first big girl job, right? So I registered and I started, and it was really funny because I was the only girl at the barber shop. I pretty much was the only person at the barber shop. Mind you, I was waiting for service here while I started learning at this shop, Tony P Unisex Salon then. So I started, it felt very weird at first that I have to go to work Mondays. We do Mondays to Saturdays, right? So it was a full time learning experience, Monday to Saturdays. So for me, because I had some things ongoing, I had to like, have like an hybrid structure for myself to say that okay, I would go to the office Monday, Tuesday. I think there was Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, but Saturdays were usually busy in the barbing shop. So I think for me, I striked out Saturdays and Sunday because trust me, you will stand from morning till evening. It's not child's play. Those people, they really do a lot, and it's a lot of work that goes on in the barber shop or even the hairdresser shop just to make you beautiful, to look good. It takes a lot. So I started learning, and it was a good experience. People would come in and just be surprised to see a woman learning, in the midst of men. People just what are you doing here? Do you find this interesting? How are you here? What brought you here? And I'm like, I came to learn, just like others that are learning. And the guys that were my colleagues, the senior colleagues, they were really amazing. They wanted to put me through, help me to know everything ASAP and all that. But yeah, it was really a good experience while learning. I learned how to hold the clipper right, because there's a structure to you holding clipper. It's not the one that you hold like as if you are holding pencil. There has to be a structure for you to hold the clipper. When you are cutting, when you are doing low cut, you have to follow a particular straight, the line of the edge. You have to follow it down. You don't bring it up when you're supposed to settle it down. So it was pretty a good experience. I had people that would come in and say, oh, they wanted me to be the one to prep them for the session. They wanted me to be the one to put their neck cape, to just dust them off when they are done, because they believe that a woman's hand is softer than men, that the men, they were always very rough with handling them. And then some people would allow me to just do the basic cut, like low cut, children's cut. I would start it off, then someone that was more experienced will come and continue. So it went on for like that. I got my NYC batch posting, and I needed to go for NYC. Then everyone was like, oh, will I still come back and all that? I didn't even know that maybe something like that would happen. So I went for camp, 3 weeks in camp. So the interesting thing while in camp is that we had Said, where you would learn vocational skills. Trust me, when I wanted to choose what to learn, I went for barbing, because I already had the existing knowledge from before NYC. So I felt like it's not new to me, so I could add it to something doing. Then during NYC, they said there was going to be a competition, and I'm like, oh, competition, because while we were on camp for those 3 weeks, the vocational training, they would train you on the skill that you've chosen. So I was learning from Oga Musa then in Kano. We were plenty. We were about I think I was just the only girl learning then too. And some other NYC core members too. So they said we were going to have a competition, and it was going to be a competition where the DG, everybody is going to be there to witness it. And because the Oga Musa saw that I was always, diligent and interested in learning swiftly, he put my name up as part of the contestant. So the D-Day came. I already made a selection of the person I wanted to use for this competition. So I said to myself, we were going to be given 15 minutes to have like a clean cut. So you select what you want to do for the person. So the day came, everyone, they were present, all the NYC core member, as the hall was going to be full. It was really filled up, because it was a competition that was interesting and engaging, different things going on. But the barbing session was 15 minutes. We had about 15 contestants from different, different people that were part of the training, 15 of us. And then we had our muse, the people that were going to do the styles on, showcase the things that we've learned on. So they were going to measure you on how you are analytical, your speed, the how clean your cut is, and those basic things of attending to customer, understanding what they want, and all of those things were tested. So I started off, and to me, I already had, like I mentioned before, I even went to camp, I already had pre-knowledge and all of this. So it really added to it. So I said to myself, just do low cut instead of, you know, doing something that will take your time and you will have to be rushing and all of that. So I just did a simple low cut, and then I started before 15 minutes I was done. I cleaned up, I did like the little shaping I can shape for the person, and it was good. And then trust me, when they were done with the assessment, guess who won the competition? I came first. And I was like, first out of this group of men that we were contesting together. So it was really like a soft launch for me. Then after NYSC, like the 1 year NYSC, where you'll be waiting to get an opportunity and stuff like that, I had to go back to the barbering shop because at that point there was nothing yet for me. There was no job, nothing. And I said rather than stay at home, let me just go back to learning and let's see what comes out of it. So I went back to the shop. People were excited to see me. "Oh, it's been a year, welcome back." My page on Twitter then was Your Girl is a Barber. I was just very much there to just, I didn't know whether this was what was gonna bring me into limelight or blow me up, as people would say. I did not even see HR at the time. Then there was a day somebody came into the store and conversations happened. My boss then was having the person's haircut because when big customers come like that, obviously it's the boss that's gonna handle it. And they were talking, and the man just looked back and said, "Ah, this is a woman here now. Like, what are you doing here?" That's how my boss spoke for me. "Oh no, this person, she finished from UIO, University of Ibadan. She did political science. She's very smart though. She just finished her NYSC. It was my boss that was doing all of the talking and saying, ah, at this point she's just using this place as a side thing for when she get a job opportunity." And the man just said, "Oh really, do I have a CV?" And thankfully before we finished school then they already taught us how to do CV and all those things, although it was just very basic. But I already had something like that because I did internship a bit before I even just those online thing that you just have as a basic experience. So I already had a CV. Then the man looked at me and said, I should share my CV with him. I would like to see that. Am I open for an administrative role? I was like, yes, definitely, I'm open, sir. And he said, okay, I should send my CV that he would connect me with his California based partner that they were going to interview me that day. I was shocked. Like, wait, is this happening? Like, for real? This is really happening. From this shop, I'm going to get my first job. That's how my boss was like, yes, sir, thank you, sir. I was just greeting the man because that man is a customer, like one of the big customers that come to the store. He just told me I should send. He was even telling the others, like, everybody make we let her sit down here so that she can have the interview, all of those things. The man was still having his haircut. Immediately, I already got a link for an interview invite with the partner from California, called me, asked me basic question, what are the things, my soft skills, what are the things I know how to do. And thankfully I was already prepped for knowing how to use spreadsheets because they will not teach you some of these things in school. You just have to know, okay, what are the things that are useful for you to know after school, after NYC. So she asked me about my knowledge of spreadsheets, what's my ability to communicate with people, how do I know, what's my understanding of managing people, managing large this, large that. So to me, I was not saying HR then, but administrative assistant, it was something that, I would support, the managing partner, support the CEO in this, in that, managing people, recruitment, and all of those things. This way, the things that were discussed. I got a call for interview the next day immediately, and I was prepped on getting ready to meet with the team and all of these things so that I would understand and know what the job required. Within that week, I got a job. I left the barber shop. I had to do some shopping because trust me, I didn't have any corporate things that I would wear, all of those things. And so the job came. I was in charge of managing the office, managing communications. I started with recruitment, It was a construction and architectural company. They had a parent company in California, United States of America, and then the Nigeria base company was also like in Ibadan then. So I started off understanding what it means to manage people, coordinate people on construction sites, reviewing architectural drawings, knowing that okay, this is where some of these drawings should be, this is what is needed, getting details from architects that we're working with, both the internal architects that we recruited and also the consultant architects that we were also going to be working together because it was a project, there was a big project that the CEO was working on specifically for Nigeria, and then they had to bring some of those things to do here from California. So it was really, really, really an interesting experience that launched me into even being in people's business like call HR, knowing when payroll is right, sending the details so that people can get their pay. It was really like an experience for me. So the point is, there are times where you may not even know where your next opportunity will come, but sometimes don't keep short. Don't keep your mouth shut. And sometimes God uses people, because it was through my boss then at the barber shop that I was able to, like, I would not have been able to just discuss my experience with this person normal, because obviously the person is a customer and I don't have the right to start engaging them in conversation and stuff like that. But my boss came forward and he did all of the talking, and then I landed my first big girl career role, right, from the barber shop. I never had the mindset. I did not know anything or know anybody that I wanted to help me or something like that. But that job came right at the barber shop. And there were other opportunities that came even before then, but it did not click through. But what I'm saying now is that there are places where you would not even expect something to come out from. It could be from communication or just having a soft discussion with somebody, and then they ask for, oh, what do you do, what's your experience, what's this, and then conversation move from there to something bigger. So that's the story of how I landed my first big girl role from barber shop to becoming an HR, and then the story moved from there. It's been one place of growth to the other place of growth. This is just to share with you what led me from being the barber girl to becoming an HR professional. So yeah, see you in my next video, my next story time video. I'll catch up with you later. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because yeah, it counts. And I appreciate all of our subscribers, those that have been engaging with this community for the longest. I say thank you to everyone. I would see you in my next video. Bye for now.